SpaceX's Starship launch experienced a setback, halting the countdown just moments before liftoff. While launch delays are common in complex space missions, this particular hold, close to the scheduled launch, disappointed many. This article breaks down the factors leading to the delay, offering insight into the complex processes involved. The meticulous pre-launch preparations and the complexities of large rocket launches are highlighted. The article aims to provide clarity for those eager to understand the reasons behind the postponement and explain the troubleshooting process initiated by the mission control team. This is common in complex space missions where even minor issues could lead to delays. This article will provide details and updates. SpaceX's pre-launch preparations for Starship included extensive system checks, propellant loading, and engine cooling. At T-minus 40 seconds, an automatic hold triggered, halting the countdown. Initial assessments suggest the problem might be linked to the Super Heavy booster systems, potentially encompassing a sensor malfunction, minor leak, or other mechanical issues. The article delves into the thorough nature of pre-launch procedures and the multiple possible sources of problems. Engineers immediately began troubleshooting, analyzing telemetry data to pinpoint the precise cause. The detailed troubleshooting process highlights the complexities of a launch and the intricate web of systems that must operate flawlessly. This detailed examination of potential causes is crucial for understanding the decision-making process during a launch. SpaceX's mission control team immediately initiated troubleshooting after the launch hold. Reviewing telemetry data is crucial to pinpoint the root cause of the issue. Possible culprits range from minor software glitches to potential malfunctions within the engines or fuel systems. The meticulous analysis of real-time data is critical to assess the severity of the problem. This troubleshooting phase emphasizes the importance of data analysis to determine the appropriate course of action. The team's detailed investigation will reveal whether the hold necessitates a scrub or a brief delay, followed by a restart attempt. The article provides a closer look at the steps taken by the mission control team to determine the exact nature of the issue and the subsequent course of action. The duration of the Starship launch delay hinges on the severity of the identified problem. A minor issue, like a sensor malfunction, could potentially be resolved within a short time frame, allowing for a launch attempt later in the same launch window. More significant problems, such as issues with the Raptor engines or fuel system, would require more extensive checks and repairs. This could lead to a significant postponement of the launch by a day or more. The article emphasizes the potential range of delay scenarios and the iterative nature of troubleshooting. SpaceX faces a crucial decision point, balancing the desire for a timely launch with the necessity of thoroughly examining the identified issues before proceeding. Weather conditions also factor into the decision-making, adding another layer of complexity. SpaceX now faces a critical decision point regarding the launch attempt. Options include restarting the launch within the current window if the problem is quickly fixable, or postponing the launch to a later date for a more thorough inspection. This decision hinges on the severity of the identified issue, ranging from minor malfunctions to more substantial mechanical problems. A thorough examination is necessary to prevent further setbacks or potential safety concerns. The article emphasizes the delicate balance between a prompt launch and the importance of ensuring the safety of the mission. SpaceX must meticulously assess the telemetry data to determine the best course of action, weighing the time constraints against the need to address any potential problems. This decision-making process will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of the Starship program. Starship Flight 8. Why did SpaceX scrub? When will it launch again? SpaceX scrubbed its Starship Flight 8 launch attempt on Monday afternoon. The cause for the scrub was not entirely shared, but it seemed to have shown up in the late stages of the count and involved the Super Heavy booster. SpaceX's Starship Flight 8 is supposed to be a redo of Flight 7's goals of testing new heat shield technology, deploying dummy Starlink satellites, and verifying the Block 2 design. However, the launch was scrubbed in the final minutes of the launch Monday night, causing what could be anywhere from a 24-hour to multiple-day delay. Starship has a unique system that SpaceX is unable to utilize with its smaller Falcon rockets, holding for several minutes at T-minus 40 seconds. For Falcon launches, if a hold is called after propellant loading begins, around T-minus 20 minutes, a scrub has to take place. Meanwhile, if there is an issue that shows up at any time during Starship's launch, the count can continue until T-minus 40 seconds. If the issue is still present, then the count can be held for several minutes while they continue to assess the situation. SpaceX shared why they were able to do this during the stream. Starship's propellant tanks are so large that they actually allow for a slower rate of cooldown compared to Falcon, giving them at least some time to hold the count. This is precisely what took place during Monday's launch attempt. At about the T-25-minute mark, an issue with Booster 15 showed up, causing a hold to take place. While the count didn't stop, this eventually did lead to the hold triggering at the expected T-minus 40-second mark. After a few minutes into the hold, the problem with the booster was solved. However, another issue with Ship 34 showed up that continued the hold. While SpaceX has the option to hold, it cannot hold at this point for the entire window, which had about 40 minutes left. So a decision had to be made. SpaceX eventually cleared the hold and began counting down again. That was until about 10 seconds later, when Booster 15 triggered multiple holds, which brought us back to T-minus 40 seconds. With SpaceX already holding here for a good amount of time, nearly 6 minutes, SpaceX made the call to scrub the launch. No specific reason for the scrub was given other than the holds came from the booster, not the ship. When can Starship Flight 8 launch again? It depends on the issue at hand. Luckily, the count didn't go low enough to trigger the launch pad's water suppression system, so that doesn't need to be refilled. However, other commodities like some propellant will need to be refilled. The live stream's hosts shared that SpaceX has gotten pretty good at these sorts of operations, and what used to be a required multi-day delay can now be as low as 24 hours. However, if the issue that caused the hold needs more work to solve, the delay could push the next launch attempt later into the week. SpaceX scrubs 8th Starship rocket test flight. The company has made changes to the vehicle, part of which blew up over the Caribbean in January during the 7th test flight. An issue during the countdown halted Monday's launch. Starship, the spacecraft that Elon Musk says will one day take people to Mars, will try another day to carry out its 8th test flight. This trip to space, which had been scheduled for Monday night, was to be largely a do-over of the 7th flight, which launched in January. In that test, Starship's mammoth booster, or the bottom of the rocket, successfully returned to the launch pad. But the upper stage spacecraft disintegrated over the Caribbean, with some debris landing on the Turks and Caicos Islands. But an issue with the second stage spacecraft resulted in the postponement of Monday's launch attempt from the company's South Texas launch pad. During the live stream, SpaceX commentators did not offer details about what caused the launch to be called off. In a posting on X, Mr. Musk, the chief executive of SpaceX, said there were too many question marks about this flight and cited low pressure in one particular system. He added that it was best to take the rocket off the launch pad, inspect it, and try again in a day or two. What is Starship? The Starship rocket system is the largest ever built. At 403 feet tall, it's nearly 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty atop its pedestal. It has the most engines ever in a rocket booster. The Super Heavy booster is powered by 33 of SpaceX's Raptor engines. As those engines lift Starship off the launch pad, they will generate 16 million pounds of thrust at full throttle. The upper part, also called Starship, or Ship for short, looks like a shiny rocket from science fiction movies of the 1950s, is made of stainless steel with large fins. This is the upper stage that will head toward orbit and ultimately could carry people to the moon or even Mars. In 6 tests before the 7th flight, SpaceX demonstrated that the rocket's basic design works and the Starship can return to Earth almost intact. Over the coming year, SpaceX is looking to improve more or less to reliably improve out other capabilities. The company is likely to receive approval from the Federal Aviation Administration for up to 25 flights this year. When will Starship be able to send people to space? NASA is planning to use a version of Starship to take astronauts from lunar orbit to the surface of the moon during its Artemis 3 mission, currently scheduled for 2027. But that mission could be delayed or even canceled if the Trump administration revamps the moon program or shifts its attention to Mars. SpaceX will need to demonstrate high reliability of Starship before a flight with people on board takes place. What else is going on with SpaceX? The company continues to launch its Falcon 9 rockets from Florida and California every few days. But it has also had some recent glitches with that launcher. During launch in February, a Falcon 9 upper stage failed to execute the usual engine burn to ensure that the rocket's remains would splash down in the ocean. Instead, it remained in orbit. Air resistance caused it to fall gradually, and the stage re-entered the atmosphere 18 days later over Europe. No one was hurt or injured, but pieces of the rocket appear to have landed in Poland. SpaceX encountered another problem on Sunday night when a Falcon 9 booster successfully landed on a barge in the Atlantic Ocean, but then fell over. SpaceX reported that an off-nominal fire in the aft end of the rocket damaged one of the booster's landing legs, which resulted in it tipping over.